Okay, so my introductions are always a little bit sort of like take a running jump at it. So welcome to another episode of the Chakra Way Meditation Podcast. And today I have another gorgeous guest all the way from America, Carolina Ayala, who is a holistic life coach. Welcome, Carolina. Thanks so much for joining me.
Thank you for having me. Atma Namaste to everybody.
So the reason why I was attracted to contact and get in touch with Carolina is because of your work with energy. And I am all about the energy, understanding energy, helping people understand energy. So first of all, what brought you to this work? And then we'll find out what you actually do.
Well, I used to say in my previous lifetime, like was this life, right?
Yeah.
I used to work on an investment bank.
Oh, wow.
And the amount of stress that you live in that environment is nonsense, right? So I remember I couldn't sleep. I was like, oh my goodness, did I do this? You know, and I was even inside and outside the job, I was so stressed out. So years pass by, and I always have this, tendency to look for more. It has to be something more than this in life, wake up, work, stress out, and come back and do it all over again. So searching and searching, looking and looking, I got into contact with this technique called Pranic Healing, which is an energy technique. And then I discovered that you can use energy in everything in your life. So I said, oh my goodness, this is so amazing. So I start to transform my life, instead of being the person stressed out, to be the person who is helping other people to release stress. Mm-hmm. Because there's a small thing that you can do, and already you can get centered and move with your life instead of, that stressful life all the time. So that's how I start.
Yeah, wonderful. And this is the thing that I find is very common when I'm talking to people, is that, you get to that point where people are so stressed and they're just like, what is the point? And I think, we all have that moment, especially if we're in jobs that are really demanding and we need some help. And I do think, and I'm sure you'll attest to this, that, understanding our energetic side, sort of making a connection with that spiritual energetic side of us, can be the perfect counterbalance to what life demands of us. And life can be so demanding, can't it? It really, in so many different directions, not just work, but the pressures of society and everything.
Yeah, because everything in life will create this stressor situation. But I think that the most important part is how you balance that. Because it's not that you're going to withdraw, because otherwise everybody will be like, oh, I cannot deal with this anymore. And it's easy to give up than to work on it, right? But I think that the key is to find that balance where you can go, do whatever it is that you need to do, recharge, regenerate, come back stronger, so you can be better in whatever it is that you do. But using energy, that's the key.
Yeah. So the thing that really sparked my interest in you was you're saying that life is like a game. And if you know the energy rules, you can be a winner. So I want you to talk me through a little bit about what your energy rules are, because I think this is a brilliant little way of approaching energy, because, if you're an electrician or a engineer, energy has rules. It will do a certain thing. You attach X to Y and Z will happen, or whatever, I mean, very obviously, I'm not an electrician. But it makes very logical, wonderful sense. So talk me through how this energy rules.
Yeah, well, are the rules of the universe, right? But this is what happened. The way I see it is this, like I say, if you're going to play a game, what do you do first? Okay, how's the game? What are the rules? What I'm supposed to do to be able to see if you can win, right? But sometimes we forget about that in life, right? But life is like that. It's like a game. So what are the rules? Well, there are so many rules. But for example, the law of karma. It is in giving that we receive. Sometimes we are so eager for something, but we are not remembering this law. So we are waiting for this to come to us instead of doing something first, right? So we can be entitled to receive. Right? There, for example, I have clients with relationship situations and they say, well, but you know, all I want is love. Okay, so what are the seeds of love that you're planting every day? Oh, I don't know. Okay, so how can you manifest love in different aspects of your life? So you giving love, you will be receiving the love that you want, right? So that's just a simple rule, but sometimes you're not fully aware. You understand, everybody heard the quotes, what goes around comes around, but what does that really mean, right? So it's about understanding, oh, if that's how it works, what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah. And I think everybody does know that, you know, fundamentally when you say it, there's no denying it, there's no arguing it, and that everybody knows that. But it's really important to remind yourself and remember that in a very conscious way.
Yeah, because from knowing to the action, there is a gap, right? We know so many things, but we need, as you say, to remember, to be able to do it. And when we do it so many times, when we see the result, like everything in life, right?
Yeah.
You cannot go to the gym once a year and say, oh, look at the body, right?
Yeah, exactly.
No, those people that have this amazing body, they have a routine, they are constant, they improve themselves every single day. So same way.
Yeah. And it's the same with yoga or meditation. You know, it's a practice.
Yes.
It's not, there's no end game, there's no final result. Oh, I've achieved it, I'm there. You know, like even if you're you know, you reached enlightenment, you don't see the Dalai Lama sitting back, well, I did it, you know, we're going to give up now.
I think that there is always an extra layer of improvement. So we always have a way to keep going, right? So that's why it's important, just continuity, right? And another thing is to let go of the concept of instant coffee, because nowadays we want everything like this, done. So I may take once I didn't work. Well, you need to keep meditating, right? Oh, I just tried that once and it didn't work for me.
Yeah.
So it's also giving yourself the opportunity to really experience the different tools.
Exactly. I mean, it's similarly like when I meet people and I tell them I'm a yoga teacher and they say, oh, I tried yoga, I didn't really like it. I'm like, well, yeah, you didn't go, that teacher didn't ring your bells. That type of yoga wasn't for you. Maybe it was just that class that didn't work for you. Like, yeah, you have to keep plugging away and find the right path for you and the right rules, I think. So rules. So do you have a list of rules? Do you have more rules?
No. There are many rules that you learn the more you keep working with energy, but in reality, it's just for you to understand that idea. If you understand like that, you always say, oh, what I'm missing, right?
Yeah.
For example, there are many people that they are always in the judge behavior, like why this is happening, you know, instead of the learning, like what can I learn from this? That's another different mentality mindset. When you work with energy, you say, oh, it's not happening to me, it's happening for me. So what I'm supposed to learn from this, right? How can I get the best of this? What it is that I need to accomplish with this situation? Oh, okay. Once you understand that, lesson learned, life continue. But if you don't, that's when cycles start over and over. And you say, it happened to me again, the same, you know? So those are the kind of things that if you have that awareness and that mindset of expansions and say, look, there is always more behind. Then you get more like the observer instead of the actor running away.
Yeah.
So you can see really what is happening and take active action in your life.
Yeah, I mean, it's the clearest example of that is always in relationships, when people say, oh, you know, people always cheat on me, they always leave me, or they always, you know, treat me badly, or, you know, there's this pattern that's expected, and they're searching for, you know, they're just sort of trying the next one and the next one, and without changing yourself. And that beautiful idea of changing the self will change, you know, changing the interior changes the exterior world and how people react to you and how people respond to you and treat you. And and that is all about, again, about what you put out.
Exactly. You see, so the rules are kind of like all intertwined, because many people also, what happens is that they focus on the outside. I got always, they cheat me. They cheat on me. They treat me wrong. But that's a reflection of who you are. So then ask yourself, I giving myself my self-value. Do I really love myself? Because if you change inside, everything outside will reorganize. But that's the challenge, right? Because sometimes it's easy to point than to go back and say, maybe we can change this.
Holding the mirror up to yourself is a tough thing to do. It is not easy. And, you know, that's definitely something that I come across because I do chakra readings, and I've got a promotion on at the moment. So I'm seeing lots of lovely people who listen to the podcast. And what the chakra readings do is really, all they do is hold up a mirror. I don't think I tell anybody something that they don't already know, really, in their heart of hearts, and working out. But it's difficult to see sometimes when you're in the game of life and you're just trying to cope and, you know, pay the bills and deal with the kids and the partner or whatever. That there's that very simple thing, and holding up the mirror, and it's not always comfortable. It's
but that's a good sign, right? When you feel uncomfortable, that's a good sign. That means that you're really getting into a position when you can change. Right? Because if it's easy, you are doing the same.
Yeah, exactly.
Remember, out of the comfort zone is where the magic happens. So when you start checking and you feel like, oh, really, that's me, that's what, you know, you have that aha moment or realization, be happy, because that means that you're expanding your comfort zone. So many more good things will come.
And the energy shows up in that way physically in the body as well. So when I'm teaching yoga, and you know, especially this often happens when you're doing core exercises, because yes, abdominal muscles aren't always as strong as they might be, but you know, you're doing something. I mean, it doesn't even have to be a core workout. And people start shaking and they're like, I can't do this, I'm shaking. I'm like, no, that's good. That's your energy beginning to move. Like, embrace it, enjoy it, feel it, you know, really kind of.
Yeah, and that's what happened, because we don't have fully understanding of the energy. When something energetically starts to happen, the tendency is to be afraid and stop.
Yeah.
When
go back,
we should allow it to flow and let it be, to go to the other side, right? To the new you. And that's a process that, you know, that's when you need somebody to support you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you cannot do it by yourself.
Yeah. So this is where you come in as a holistic life coach, because you're seeing every side of it, and the energetic side as well. So talk me through a little bit about what pranic healing is specifically.
Pranic healing is an energy healing technique. Is based on chakra healing. Right. So yes, you see. So every same way that in the physical body we have internal organs, and each one of them have a specific role. In the energy body we have chakras. Those chakras, each one of them have a different role, physically, emotionally, mentally, spiritually, right? So what we do in pranic healing is the body have the ability to heal itself. But if we help to remove the congested energy, then you will heal faster. So it's a non-touching energy healing technique where we remove the congested energy and apply new energy so you can, you know, balance those chakras.
Okay.
So, but it's it works for many different ways: physical ailments, psychological ailments, for relationship, for prosperity, for any area in your life you can use that technique.
And so is it, I mean, I'm trying to picture what it is, because, you know, I know that the way I teach and understand the chakras, I take it very, you know, that mind, body, spirit. So in the mind, we learn about the chakras, we understand what they represent and what they hold. And then in the body, we can embody the work and the opening of the chakras through yoga. And then in the spirit, we go into, you use meditation. So those are my techniques, you know, sort of quite clear. First of all, you know, sit down and read this, listen to this. Secondly, do some yoga, feel it, feel that energy. Thirdly, get into your meditation, listen to your inner self, listen. So those are the sort of three methods that I use in order to kind of connect with our energy. So in pranic energy healing, is it a sort of it's not hands-on? Can you talk me?
Okay, what I mean is that we don't touch the person, right? But we do healing with your hands. You learn how to scan the energy, how to feel the energy, how to remove the energy with your hands. Later on, you can also learn, and you can use crystals to make it even faster. So we use laser crystals like to get inside and remove the congestion easily.
So I just need to tell people who are listening, the reason why I gasped was because Kat picked up the most beautiful crystal wand and waved it at me, and I'm transfixed.
Yes, so we use specific crystals to help to enhance the healing, right? So it will be faster and more, you know, deep. Yeah. Right. So they are different. You can take the classes. They are the first class, we call it basic, but it's level 1, where you understand the energy anatomy. But in there, you also learn how to do healing with your hand. That's step number 1. Then we have crystal healing. We have advanced pranic healing, where you learn to produce colors to heal. Because if you put colors, faster. And you know what color works for what, right? Because if you want to enhance something, you use a color. If you want to inhibit, you use another color, right? We have a class called psychotherapy, where you learn is all about the negative thought forms, the negative belief, how to remove those, right? Because those are a big limitation in your life, but how to use with energy and where are they located, how you can remove it. So it's a whole system. It's a school, right? So you have different classes, but yes, everything involves healing. Everything that you do for others, you can do for yourself. So you learn how to do self-healing too, because that's important. We do meditation, we do exercises, we do, it combines so many things like visualization, affirmations, because we are a whole, right?
Yes, absolutely.
And it's that understanding that we are not just this body. We have so many other layers, right? We have the emotion, we have the thought, and we are the soul. So with that understanding, the healing takes a different way. And in pranic healing, we are really, really into energy hygiene, meaning that when we do healing, how you prevent to get congested during the day, how you keep your energy up. Yeah? Because we go to places, and then have you ever get into a place and you feel like, oh, I want, you know, it's heavy, I want just to let go? It's because you are sensitive to that energy. But how you can deal with that in your day-to-day activities, so you feel okay, you understand what is happening, but you have the techniques to keep yourself clean.
No, I think that's that's a super valuable technique to have, because I know that, you know, being around other people's energy is often can be really impactful. And you know, you have this sort of energy entanglement, if you like, where, you know, if say your partner has just had a really bad day and they come back and they're in a filthy mood, and it's really hard to, you know, keep yourself separate from that, because of course you want to give comfort, you want to understand, but you don't want to take yourself to that place where the other person is. And, you know, and this can be in any situation, within a family, within work, you know, anywhere that you know, with other people. It's that entanglement of energy that is often really challenging to understand. So can you give us a few pointers on how we prevent ourselves, I suppose?
Well, let's see.
Protect ourselves, I should say.
To protect yourself. So the first thing is your mindset. If you, one of the rules, right, of the universe, whatever you focus on, it will tend to multiply, magnify, and manifest. Okay, so that being said, if you go out worry, oh, I'm gonna get congested, oh, everybody is against me, or if you go with a negative mindset, that's what you are manifesting into your life. So the first thing is to be happy, loving, kind. So that's what you're gonna get back, and that's what you manifest in your life. So that's one of the first things, because sometimes people, once they start understanding about energy, they get a little bit afraid of, oh, if I go there, I'm gonna feel, let's say if I go to a bar, oh, that's so congested. Or if I go to the airport, I feel bad. No, you don't have to. You understand that that's a place where there are so many emotions, so many energies interacting, but that doesn't mean that you have to allow that to be your energy.
Yeah.
So that understanding that what you put out is what you're gonna get many, many times is a wake-up call, because then you say, oh, no, I don't want that in my life. Let me think about it and put a better intention. So easy is, today is gonna be an amazing day. I'm gonna be full of energy, empowered, motivated, happy, healthy, strong, and then go with your life, right? That's the best, way for you to protect your energy.
Yeah.
Then the most important thing is to be able to remember to be loved. Because one thing is to do and another thing is to be, right? So sometimes we have to remember to be an embodiment of love. Because when we are loving, your heart chakra expands, and that's the best protection for your life energetically. It's like a shield, like an energy shield, right? But it's love. Yeah. Because if everything you see it from the point of view of love, and you start training yourself like, love, I'm love, I'm love. How love will react to this situation. This is how I am, I'm love, right? But it's more about that awareness of who you are at that moment. Because if you get reactive to a situation, what happened to your aura is like, you shrink.
Yeah.
If you are small, anything will affect you. When you are love, your energy start building up bigger and bigger, brighter and brighter, full of love. So you don't feel those interactions that are not so positive in your life.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's a lot about how you perceive what is happening. But that takes training, because sometimes you say, well, but this is happening, this is the fact, this is what it is. Yes, but there are things that you cannot change. You cannot control how other people behave, what other people say, how other people act, but you can control how you react. And that's, when you have to take a break and say, stop for 1 second and say, what I'm going to do. If I am love, how I'm going to react to this. So that will help a lot.
Yeah, that's a really nice.
In making your vibration as high as possible, because the higher the vibration, the less challenges in your life.
Yeah.
But yes, of course, we're always going to have challenges, but you have the tools to deal with those.
Yeah, exactly. We're so on the same page, and so singing from the same hymn sheet is just glorious, because it gives me hope that there's so many people out here who are just like, this is just so key. It's so fundamental to people's happiness. And for me, that finding that love, it isn't always for me to find that state of high vibration, of high love, of being love, which I love. Is a very wonderful way of putting it, just be love. And I've not heard it put that way before, so I'm gonna steal that. But the way that I approach it is through gratitude, because I feel like you can always find something to be grateful for. And people who listen to me regularly will go, okay, here she goes again. But I never tire of saying it. I think you need to hear it every single day. Anything in your life that you can be grateful for, just be grateful. And then around that gratitude expands the love, expands the joy, it raises your vibrations, and bam, off you go like a superhero into the world. Yes.
If you understand the energy, that will be your go to all the time. Because look, what worries does to your energy? Take energy, drain your energy. So you are taking from something that you want to happen. But if you're grateful about it, you appreciate what is happening, you put energy. So it will transform and manifest in the best way possible. So that's why gratitude is one of the exercises #1 for everybody to start applying in different aspects, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And with gratitude is the same. Many people say, oh, I will be grateful when I get that job.
No.
Or I'm grateful for my job, right? But we have to live on a state of gratitude.
Yeah.
Meaning that it doesn't matter what is happening, you are grateful for. Because some days you are so grateful for your job, but some days you have challenges and you don't feel so well, but you say, I am so grateful because I'm learning what not to do. I'm learning how to do it better. I'm learning a new technique. So, but you have to find a way to transform that challenge, negative situation into something to be appreciative about.
Yeah, no, yeah, absolutely. And being able to see the positive in those situations that might easily be a downward spiral into a negative thought pattern is, it takes work. And it's like any of this work that you're talking about, you know, it's like any practice, yoga, meditation, going to the gym, you know, learning any skill. Like no one's going to pick up, you know, sit in front of a sewing machine for the first time and create some incredible couture design. You're going to have to practice and practice and practice. And so, you know, and you take it little by little. And when you have a little win, when you feel a little bit of gratitude for something that you previously would have ignored, then give yourself a big massive pat on the back and feel, yeah, okay. So anything, literally, like being, and you could be in the ladies' room at an airport, like the most uninspiring, unpleasant kind of a place to be, and and still find 15 things that you're grateful for, you know, totally. Within, oh my God, there's water in the tap, there's light, there's air conditioning, I can actually use the loo, I could use the toilet, you know, I'm safe in here, there's, you know, I don't know, whatever it is, you can always find something to be grateful for, but it does take practice, does take time. Yeah.
And it takes for you to remember that's the mindset that I want to live with. So you have to program yourself. This is who I want to be. I want to be a grateful person, right? Because otherwise you go with life, the routine will get to you and you forget. Sometimes people say, no, but I don't.
Life will just run you. Life will take over, and I think that's one of the things that if you feel like life is controlling you, if you feel like life is running you, like you don't have any choice, any say in the matter, it's just like, oh, it's all just so hectic, or, you know, I have to go to this job that I hate, and I have to, you know.
That's the universe speaking loudly to you. Exactly. Be aware. What is happening? What can you do about it? Every time that you say, I have to, alarm, 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 alarm.
Big, because
it should be, I choose to. I'm so grateful for. I have the pleasure to do this. But if you go to I have to, something is wrong. Because you are rejecting the energy. You are doing it just because an outside source is telling you to do so. And the best things happen when you come from within. Whatever you do with love, with all your energy from inside, with your attention, with your love, with your gratitude, everything is easy. That's why you work and you're like, oh, I'm working, but it doesn't feel like working. Because you're so happy.
Exactly. I mean, there's you know, things like really mundane things, like, for example, I hate doing housework. Okay, I'll hold my hands up. There is no joy in it for me whatsoever.
But that's normal. Who?
Work. Yes, I know, exactly. So like, because it's a mundane thing, or like doing the washing up, nobody actually enjoys, you know, it's not an enjoyable task per se. Some people love housework, so kudos to those people who actually find real joy in it, because I'm envious. I wish I did. But I have to work really hard. I'm like, oh my God, I would be so grateful that I've got a house to vacuum. I'm so grateful that I've got a machine that does most of the work for me. You know, so
that you have a place that you have to vacuum.
Exactly.
That you have a home, that you have, you know, yes. But that's again, there are many things that we don't like because that's the energy body talking. I don't like that. But if you go from a higher perspective with your mindset and you say, I'm going to do this with gratitude, every single stroke. I'm so grateful that I can move. And how many people cannot move? Yeah. I'm so grateful that I have all the materials that's abundance and prosperity in my life, right? Yeah. As you say, my amazing machine that does most of the work, good. And on top of that, I'm doing a little bit of, you know, work for my arms. I'm so grateful for this, right? So, but it's about, in some way, don't take it so seriously. Yeah. But be more playful, because that make it a little bit easy for you to get into the habit. But yes, that happened, you know.
So, I mean, I think everybody listening, and you know, myself included, knows that this is absolutely 100% true, honest. You know, this is absolutely the truth. However, we go through our days, we get distracted, you know, the radio's on, we're only half kind of alert to whatever it is we're doing. So what techniques might you suggest that people use in order to remind themselves that this is the work that they should be doing? Because I think you can think about it and people will go away from listening to this podcast and go, oh my God, yes, I can do that. I should do that. And then they'll get into the washing up and they'll just be thinking about the next thing, or the, you know, so how to keep reminding yourself of keeping the work going?
Well, the first thing is that if it's a priority in your life, what do? You put it on your schedule, because you know, you go to work from this time to this time, then you make your list. I go to the groceries, then I have to pick up the kids, because those are the important things in your life. If it's not in your schedule, it's not important, no matter what you say. Now, that being said, I invite you to go over your calendar, right? And allow yourself 5 minutes every day. Start with 5 minutes every day to focus on something about your energy. It can be a gratitude exercise. It can be a short meditation. It can be only an inner reflection and think, what can I improve in my life? Anything, just start with 5 minutes and then you start building up, right? Until you get, let's say, or give yourself the opportunity. You say, oh, this week I can do a yoga class. I have an hour. That hour will be for your yoga class. Go find a yoga class that you like and try it. Oh, but I did yoga, I didn't like it. Don't matter. Go. I don't know how to meditate. Try. There's so many different types of meditations. So try. You never know what is gonna be the one that make the clicks for you, but you have to give yourself the opportunity to do so. You have to be on your schedule. And once on your schedule, like everything on your schedule, you just do it. Because you see your schedule and you say, I have to pick up the kids. You say, I know, no, I don't feel like it. No, you just go because it's so important. Nobody's going to pick up the kids but you. So then you put urgency into that. So that's why it's so important to write it down on your schedule. Because if you have it in your mind, there is energy. But when you write it down, it's the first step to manifestation. Yeah. So you are telling to the universe, yes, this is a space, make it happen. And then you go and give yourself the space and the time.
I love that. I mean, it's so simple. It's such a simple solution to that problem that I posed to you. Is such a beautiful solution. And there is something very magical about writing it down. You know, so often, you know, when I'm working with the chakras and working with healing energy, or, you know, just beginning to understand your own energy, journaling, even, you know, just a simple gratitude journal, but journaling how you feel or journaling your manifestations can be so incredibly powerful.
Because you bring more, because you are acknowledging that energy and say, oh, wow, look what I got. And then you bring more of that into your existence. That's it.
Wonderful. And so you obviously use the chakras as your do you use them as the sort of fundamentals that underlie everything, that give you the foundation, the map, if you like?
Yes. We learn a technique that is called a scanning technique, where we scan the chakras, we scan the size, and we scan the projection of the energy, how much energy is in each chakra. So with those measurements, we can see if you are balanced, if you are like, sometimes I say like a Christmas tree, big and small, you know, your chakras, they go like this.
Yeah.
Or which are the chakras that need help because you have a lot of congestion. For example, if you are super stressed, most of the time your solar plexus is overactivated and congested. But sometimes people, let's say, they cannot move, so their basic chakra is depleted, they have no energy. So then we know what to do. We need to remove congestion, we need to put more energy. So with that, that's like a map for us. You know, the chakras, they don't lie, energy doesn't lie. So that's the energy, and you can see it how it manifests. So if you are able to fix in some way, rearrange the energy, the results will come.
Yeah.
And that's
yeah. And the first, I mean, for me, the first part of that is having a really good understanding, like having a properly solid understanding of what lives there. Because what I find, and the more chakra readings I do, the more interesting it becomes. You know, I learn something every time I do one, because I go through and I don't just ask, is your root chakra open or closed or imbalanced or whatever. I go through all the various different aspects of it. So, you know, somebody might have a really strong relationship with their home and have a great relationship with their family, but their, you know, relationship with their boundaries is, you know, is not great, or they're, you know, so there's within each chakra, there's so much
different layers.
yeah.
It's like when you look into a crystal, right? They have different facets. Same way in the chakra, you have a big, you know, extended knowledge inside, right? Because there are different levels. As you say, it can be good in relationship, but it's not in general. But there is, for example, the relationship with yourself, the one that it helps, right? But you need to go exploring, let's say like that. Yeah.
I mean, every aspect of your life, of your personality, of your reactions, of your physical feeling, it's all held within the chakras. It's all there just for you to be. And you can just, it's like opening a book when you know how. You can just open it and read it. It's like a manual, and you know, or like a sort of a reading of where you are and what you can change within you to bring
through the energy. You get to know the people, and also, you know, what you can advise for them to improve, because sometimes people we are not aware of certain things until energetically you say, oh yes, that's true.
Exactly.
But so that's why we use the energy as a confirmation and as a tool, because sometimes we are not aware of that until somebody comes and read your chakra, do the energy healing, and say, look, you know, I noticed this. Oh yes, that's true, that I forgot about it, I keep doing that, that's a tendency of mine.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that awareness is what ignite the healing, because now you're curious about it. Now you say, oh, I need to do something about it, or how can I become better at this?
As soon as you have that awareness, you know, and you think it's just awareness in your mind, but it's all connected, and the energy of your awareness will start to shift the energy and create change, the change that you need, the change that you want. So listen, Carolina, there's one more thing I want to go back to, because I find this really interesting. And you were talking about colors when you were doing the healing with the colors, because the vibrational aspect of colors is very clear. You know, everybody knows, if you've done a basic, you know, physics lesson ever in your life, you know that it's all to do with wavelength, which is vibration, in the same way that sound is vibration. So and we all have this very you know, if we now have a basic idea of our chakras, we know that we've got the red, orange, yellow, green, etc. But there are some people who say that color, you know, because the chakras have been around for thousands of years, you know, predates Christianity pretty much, and this wisdom has been around. Energetic wisdom has been around in the ancient cultures for thousands and thousands of years. But people say that this rainbow came into the chakras really only in the sort of 60s, the 70s, with that sort of, and so that it's a bit of a, you know, maybe if you like it, if it helps, blah, blah, blah. But so I want to get your take on the energetic power of colors, because I think it's a really I think it's a really valid and important thing, actually. Colors are so important to our lives, and they change our mood and how I feel and
in everything in your life. So we learn about the colors in the class, right? So specific is, it's a weekend class, so it's a lot to learn about colors. But what I want you to take from this is that every color has a vibration. That's why even the clothes that you wear, your environment, the colors that you have around, it have a big effect on you. That's why, for example, we also do a technique called Pranic Feng Shui, where you organize the places, not only the colors, but how you organize to have more energy, right? But the colors, the color have the ability to expand, to inhibit, to multiply. So it's so important for you to understand about colors, because colors is everything, right?
Yeah.
And we are all energetically, when somebody look at you, if you're able to have a clairvoyance, look at your energy, or you take those pictures, the Kirlian pictures, right? That they look at your aura and you see the yellow, the green. Right? We are color. Yeah. We have our natural color. So it's important for us to understand colors, because if you know that you want to be loved, color of love is pink. So you are pink, right? So let's say you need more love in your life. I don't know, in your meditation room will be pink, or you will start dressing more in pink to ignite, to remind your energy to be, right? Yeah. So colors are everything, because they remind you of a vibration. Yeah, it's true. And I think that that's another aspect of why crystals have that special quality as well, because they have such beautiful colors and light within them, and the refraction and everything. But especially the heart chakra, which is traditionally green. And I'm wondering whether that was just simply because that was where it was in the rainbow when it was kind of ascribed. Because I often now think of it as, have you ever seen one of those really beautiful watermelon crystals, which are pink and green? Yes. I love those. See, that's how I think of the heart chakra, as a pink and green beauty. Yeah, I see. You're talking more about, the colors of the 7 chakras, techniques. In Pranic Healing, we talk about 11 major chakras. So we have it a little bit different because it's a different school and technique. And we, the chakras, I thought it was in this book, no? Every chakra have all the colors, right? Oh, okay. I like this. But what happened is what is the predominant color in that chakra? Based on the quality, based on the result, the lower chakras are more like, it have to be a lower vibration, because are the ones that give you, they root yourself, they give you the energy. The upper chakras are more light, right? Because it's the one closer to your higher soul. Sort of ethereal. So, but then those colors are the more predominant in those chakras. Right? So we don't go by, in this chakra is this color. Yes, we have certain colors specific for different chakras or for different emotions, right? For example, if you see, sometimes you see a lot of people, when they do the picture, a lot of yellow, that's mental intelligence. So a lot of green is healing energy. Yeah. So those people who are healers, you see in their aura is a lot of green. So it's a different understanding that the regular school about colors, but it's interesting because it's not only in your chakras, it's in everything that you see, how colors affect your life. Yeah, that's a really interesting. And it's interesting because colors come and go in fashion as well, not just like clothing fashion, but decorating. And so if we think back to the 70s, when people were put together like bright orange and bright purple and turquoise and like all these vivid
what we might think of as quite garish colors, which I love. That lights my heart out. As a kid of the 70s, that makes my heart happy. But but that was the fashion then, to have those sort of, I remember I had this epic jumper which was brown, yellow, brown, purple and orange and pink stripes, and it was disgusting. It was so ugly, but I loved it. And it makes my, but that was a fashion then, of those bright. And then we've been through various, and now certainly, I don't know, in recent years, certainly in terms of decorating your house, people are very much like, oh, it needs to be all cool and white, or just a sort of dove gray or greige, some kind of muted color. And that makes me unhappy. I like color in my house.
Because the colors also will affect your mood.
Exactly.
So if you are in a place which is everything gray and dull, even though you don't notice, when you enter, your energy adjusts to that.
Yeah.
So that's why, even though that's the tendency, if you understand about energy, you say, yes, that's the tendency, but I need these representations or these small touches of color, the color that I need, depending on what it is that you want to achieve in that place, for example.
Yeah, exactly. And I just want to point out, for those people who are slightly confused by the fact that I work on a 7 chakra sort of basis, and Carolina works on an 11 chakra basis. There is loads of different, we have, I don't know, how many chakras do we actually have in our bodies? Like 140,
infinite. Because you have major chakras, minor chakra, mini chakra. Every joint you have a chakra. But when we talk about the general ones.
Yeah, exactly. We talk about the major ones, but the energy that is within our body has little focal points, and we can relate that to our organs or to our nerve bundles and to our endocrine system and to all those sort of things.
Every system has chakras. Every organ has chakras. Every muscle, everything, because it's like the entry point of energy.
Yeah.
Like when you have a Christmas tree and you have the lights, right? Each, like all those point of lights is what you have inside. And those are the chakras. But we have major chakras, mini chakras, micro chakras.
And we have chakras that are within our aura as well, that don't actually sit within our physical body. As far as I'm concerned, or in the system that I teach, which is probably one of the most simplistic, but I think like simple is good for me. Is having that crown chakra that lives just above the head, which I love because that represents, it's very similar to where one might see a halo, in the Christian faiths. And when you do your research, when you go back and you look at where the word chakra comes from, it means wheel. And the initial, it's right back in the Vedas, and I can't remember the name of it, but there were these kind of warriors. They were kind of like energy, amazing god warriors, and they would have this disc of light just in front of their heart, and very much like a halo. And Christianity just moved it from here and plonked it up here. But we all have a halo. And everybody. So that's just sort of that. Chakras are infinitely fascinating and explorable, aren't they?
Yes. And is role or is up to us to cultivate it.
Yeah. Spreading the word, trying to get as many people aware, because honestly, when if everybody went around with this very clear, simple, obvious idea of your energy, and what you put out, you get back. Oh my goodness.
Yes. It will be amazing, right?
Yeah. But and I feel like us working at grassroots, one person at a time, eventually the energy will become cumulative to a point where
that's why I always say, awareness is not enough. Because there are people that they have an idea, they know, right? But after the awareness, you have to stop and think, what is the action that you want that is more beneficial to manifest that.
Yeah.
Because otherwise people, they are aware, but they continue in the routine, so there is no action that match the awareness. And I think that's where we enter as a providers, as a helpers, as a, you know, I want you to find that beauty within you and ignite. Is that awareness is not enough.
Yeah.
We need to do something about it.
Yeah, see, I'm I sort of think, well, if you have the awareness, then the practical sort of actual doing side of it seems to kind of follow on from it, but not always. You're absolutely right.
Always.
So Carolina, tell me a little bit about what you've got that my listeners could benefit, you know, if they love listening to you, which I'm sure they do. I love your voice, I love your accent, it's so gorgeous. If they want a little bit more Carolina in their lives, how can they do that? Tell me what what's your have you got a website and all of that sort of thing? Or?
Yes, I have a website, and that is I can give it to you and you can place it. Is that
I will
easy?
put it in the show notes. Yes, absolutely.
Okay, excellent. In the show notes is easy.
Yeah.
If you want me to say it, it's called socialtap.com/Carolina Ayala. But we will write it down. That's why.
Yes. Yeah.
You can find me on Instagram too, at Carito Ayala O. That's an easy way to contact me, to see what I'm doing. You have different ways to work with me if you want to chat, just to get to know each other.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I went on and I saw that there was I went onto your website just before we were talking, and I saw that you've got there's a meditation there, and there's a free program of something or other. So I always like to just like point out free stuff, because he doesn't like free stuff.
Yes. If you subscribe, you will get access to an energy tool about awareness and manifestation, where I teach you how to use your fingers to remember what you need to do every day.
Oh my
the
God.
awareness,
Yes,
and then
I need that.
this is where I'm going and all that. That's interesting. So go for it. Go, and then because if we have something that give you the reminder, you can do it. So every time that happens, after you read that and you start using it, when you see your hand, you say, oh, I need to do this. I need to remember to focus on what I want. I need to remember to keep moving, right?
Yeah.
But if you match, I believe that if you match something that is normal for you with this new concept of energy, you will get faster results. Yeah.
Well,
yes, you can go ahead. There are free meditation. There are other programs. I just launched a program that is called Energy Gym, because we're so used to go to the energy physical body. Right? So I created 7 exercises for you to do, 1 every day or all together. Like if you go to the gym, you can even listen to that while you go to the gym. So you're working not only your physical body, but you're working your energy body at the same time.
I love that. That's brilliant. Thank you, Carolina. Well, I will put that in the show notes so people can go and find you. And I'm, for one, being that stage in my life where I cannot remember from one minute to the next what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm going to go and find that technique, because I need any.
Yeah.
I mean, it's all very well having things on my phone and my schedule, but actually kind of walking into a room, why am I here? Yeah, that's a thing. Far too often happens. Awesome. So Carolina, thank you so much for today. It's been a real joy to meet you.
Yes, thank you for having me. Thank you. So grateful for that.
You're so welcome.